holy shit, what a lot of people. I thought maybe being up here would be easier, talking about them and remembering them. So I'm going to give it my best effort here, and if I fall over or pass out or whatever, just any one of you come over here and sit me up so I don't look like I'm paying attention, and just keep it going. To start by welcoming in everyone on behalf of Shelley and her family, Mr. Eric, Miss Sally. Ooh, wow. I think everyone just take a second and look around this room. They always say you can weigh the measure of a man by the attendance of his funeral. And just look around. I had the joy and the true pleasure of knowing Justin and growing up with Justin, getting into lots of trouble with Justin. Some I might have put him in, some we just got into together. We want to just first say welcome and thank you all so very much for being here and remembering him with us. I think the hardest thing about trying to remember Justin through words is trying to find a place to start. Every single person in this room, I'm sure if you knew Justin for longer than, if you knew him for a minute, then you had a memory to carry with you for the rest of your life. If you've known him for as long as I have, and as long as some of these other folks have, then you have memories to last a lifetime tenfold. So we should all be feel very blessed and we're some of the luckiest people on this planet. Us little group right here in this little chapel, and there are people standing outside, standing room only. You guys are thinking, about Justin a lot, and I've been thinking about it for the last few days, and I know it's tough whenever we lose someone, and they're taken away from us, and they're no longer with us, but let's remember a couple of things when we think about Justin. Let's mourn his loss. Let's mourn it. That's human nature, that's what we should do. But let us all find comfort in knowing that it is our loss. It's just our loss, not Justin's. Justin has ascended, so do not mourn for him. Let's mourn for one another. Let's comfort one another. But let's find joy, and let's find happiness of knowing where Justin has gone to. And that's it. These worldly things are done. I know it's a little corny to read a poem. It's a little cliche, but I wrote this for Justin, and I hope that it really speaks to him and for him, and just understanding, how deeply we all loved him and understood him, and so here it goes. For Justin. I'm getting there. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay. Into your grandmother's arms you have gone. I know you have needed that embrace for oh so long. Life here was no easy task for you, my friend. I pray peace and silence found you in your end. We will mourn our loss of you this day, but we will celebrate your life and freedom after we have mourned and every following day. You are now untouchable, and you will feel no pain. I will remember your laughter each time I step into the ring. You are now free from all the struggles that come in life. Your heart is no longer heavy, but only filled with the love you have for your family, friends, son, and wife. Your eyes are no longer empty and fighting to hold back tears. In your heaven, I'm sure, you're watching the 49ers win Super Bowls, the 50-yard line in a stadium full of cheers. Your mind is now free from jealousy, fear, and doubt. All of the things that haunted you, you will now be without. Even though I hated that you left us so soon, you must have known it was your time and what you had to do. I know you were broken, and this life was so hard to bear. With the embrace of your grandmother, her hands have surely made your repair. So whole again, Justin, as you begin your next journey, your earthly memory will live on, so don't you worry. And if it is a new start you get, I hope it's filled with music, dance, love, and you still get to party. But please, I beg of you, do not tattoo Lil Nig on any part of your body. Thank you for that. So with that, this is our time to mourn and remember Justin. And it is our time now to have him with us for the rest of our lives and on into eternity. He has two nephews along the way, and I am 100% positive that he will be with them and he will be with us. And he'll be watching down, laughing at us when we make mistakes, and he'll be there waiting on us. So at this time, we do want to just take a few moments here and allow his family, some of his closest of friends, to come and share a memory or share a thought. So please do, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay?
I'm with Chad. It's a lot easier when you write it on paper and when you're sitting back there. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Stephanie Lindsay. And forgive me, but today I'm going to have to read. Today I want to remember the man that I knew, loved, and cared so very much for. When I think about words to describe who Justin was to me, I think of loyal, kind, accepting, exciting, compassionate about the ones he loved. But the most important word is respectful. See, Justin and I, we came from two totally different worlds. And he accepted that in order to spend time with me and my family. I remember many dinners at my house where he would eat steak until he literally and physically got sick. I remember watching him sit outside with my dad on the back porch, having the most in-depth conversations about life. I remember him laughing and cutting up with my brother-in-law, Chris, about absolutely nothing. I remember him being in my sister's wedding and hating every minute he had to keep that tux on. I remember him going to our church's youth camp with a bunch of younger kids just so he could say he won all the games. I remember our conversations that would last for hours, and him wearing socks and flip-flops out in public, even to church, no matter how many times I begged him not to. I remember trips to the beach at midnight, and I even remember watching The Bachelor with Justin on Monday nights. But my most special memory was the night he came down to MUSC to see my dad for the last time before he passed away. It was so out of Justin's comfort zone to be in a hospital, and I knew he wasn't comfortable seeing my dad that way. But out of his love for my dad, for my family, and for me, he came. He stayed a few hours, and one of the last things my dad said to Justin was, "Remember, I love you, son, and so does God." It was a precious exchange of words I will never forget, and even today, I can see them talking for the final time. When my dad did pass away in 2009, Justin came over to the house, and he said, "Steph, I will never forget the last thing your dad said to me. He said, 'I love you, son,' and God does." And today, that's what I'd like to say to you. Shelley, Austin, Miss Sally, Mr. Ricky, Jay, Kevin, Chad, all his family members, all his friends. God loves you. He understands the hurt. He understands your tears. And he understands the pain of your loss. But today you can hold on to the promises he gives you, that he will never leave you. And he promises great comfort and peace that passes all understanding when you trust in him. I am going to miss Justin greatly, but will always hold on to the man I knew and loved, and remember the memories made, and be thankful for the time I got to spend with Justin. Thank you.
Justin to me was like the son I never had. I remember I had a young daughter, and I told Justin, I said, I want you to wait until she grows up, because I want to marry her. I was his nanny, and his other two brothers as well. And we played and scratched all their backs. It's kind of what I'm known for. They're a masseuse. Whenever I would come off a trip or come from another state, I'd go in their house and Justin would put a chair in front of me and take his shirt off, and I didn't know exactly what he wanted. Everybody did. He'd be greatly missed by me. God put in my heart Ecclesiastes 7:2. It's better to go into the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting. And what this means is, as a house of mourning, you think about your own mortality. It's an opportunity to check your own heart and your own soul. And you ask yourself, where do I stand with Jesus? Where am I going? The feasting part, it's kind of like a party. You think of fun and laughter, and you kind of forget what's really important in life. And not that laughter and fun is bad. And some parties, maybe you drink. Maybe when you go home, an accident happens while you're driving home, and it's the end of your life. These are things to hear about. The bottom line here is to get right with Jesus and make him the most important part of your life. Then you can look forward and not fear what you have.
There is no assigned order for you to come and speak, in case you're wondering. If you have something you want to say, just come on up. More than one comes at one time, we'll stop one of you.
My name is Scott Harris. I had the privilege of working with Justin. I was his manager. It touched my life very deeply. He's a very quiet young man, as I knew him initially. Very talented in many ways. He supported the mission of the United States Army in ways that none of you will ever know. He was extremely dedicated. He taught me a lot, and I'm old enough to be his father. He, I believe, without a doubt, is an inspiration to so many people. And I see that here today with such a huge turnout. I have visited many funerals in my life, my family and friends, and it's never an easy thing. And I heard it. I didn't prepare to come up here today, but I felt compelled to come up and tell you that he was more of a man than most men I've ever met in my life. He was so very honest about his demeanor. When he would present himself to you, you got a real person. He didn't put on a show. I brought in an admiral one day to visit his shop, and Justin was trying to beat me the other direction. And I told him, "Come on." He said, "Scott, what are you doing, man?" And he was so terribly nervous, but once he shook his admiral's hand and began to speak, he took charge and I stepped behind. And Katie, you know that.
Yes, sir.
Because you hid. Second, Katie, about a month later, I brought 2 brigadier generals to that shop. And this young man stepped up, a firm handshake with both of those men, and impressed them. He impressed them very deeply. I'll never forget it. I'm going to miss him.
Hi. Half of you probably don't know me. Of course, my family does. So, I'm Shelley's sister, Campbell. And I guess one of the best stories I think I have to share. Justin gave my ex a tattoo against my will. I was pretty pissed off. He went to the back and they both sitting back there by themselves having a little powwow. I opened the door and said, "What the hell?" And he's sitting there giving him a big tattoo. Not just your normal size tattoo, but the whole entire arm. And not the type of person who was all that comfortable with those tattoos, to be honest. So I kind of was a little shook up. Needless to say, that man did ultimately leave me and break my heart in ways that extremely hard for anybody to go through. And unless you've had your heart ripped out by somebody who loves you entirely, you don't know what that pain feels like. And I came and I stayed with Justin and Shell and Austin for a month. And Justin just was a goofball the whole entire time. He never said anything negative to say, but I gotta tell you, Justin got me through that time. And Shelley got me through that time too. And I wanted to hate my ex, but I learned to love him, despite the fact that I hate him. But, I really do. But anyway, that goes to the feelings that you deal with. Anyway, I just need to say, we never understand what the greater purpose is for things that happen in our life. And I've had some unusual twists, and I know that there's a lesson to be learned today. And I'm going to look for that lesson every day of my life, because I know there was reason things happened the way they did. I know, because there's too many things that coincidentally can't possibly happen at the same time. And I love Justin like my brother. I really love Justin like my brother. I just have to say that's the thing that I'm going to take most, is how he made my nephew, his son, my sister, his wife, my mother, his mom, my sisters, his sisters. And if nothing else, that's the bottom line. We are all brothers and sisters, and we all hurt. We all hurt, and we all love deeply. And he loved and hurt deeply. So for that, I'm going to take that from Justin, I thank him for showing me how much one man can love. And that's what I have to say about Justin.
I ain't never done this before. I'm very, I never talked to nobody. I too work with Justin. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Justin. He helped me, he put me on a pedestal and showed me a way. And he gave me a ball and I ran with it. And everything I know about what I do is because of him. And like Mr. Harris said, he did watch my back when I was trying to run the other way. That was just Justin, that's what he did. If you didn't do something to be there, he was. So he wasn't a hard man to understand. He loved hard, he played hard, and he caught these big ass catfish. He never tell me where they were at. If anybody knows that hole, please take me to it. The poem was wonderfully talented, written. It touched me, just like Justin touched me, and my wife and my son. And I'm sorry for y'all's loss. Love you, Justin. Man.
I love him so much. I just remember us fighting, we were wrestling with my brother often, and my mom would get so nervous. So I would quit throwing my baby around, and I would just love it and always be like one of the guys. And I still want him back. I want him to be there when I get married. I know I don't know how we're going here. But I'm very glad y'all came. I'm pretty sure he appreciates it too. My birthday's coming up, and I really wanted him to be the one to get my tattoo. Now, hopefully, I can get it in his memory. That's what I want to do. So I'll always remember him. And me being so young and doing this, y'all should have the courage to do it.
All right, Alex. I'm not going up there. I'm going to stand right here. But I do want to say we love Justin. We were saying he was really close to us. I just never forget how Joey would always mowing yard all the time. And Justin would get so mad. Because he'd say, stop mowing your yard, because everybody's yelling at me, and we'd always tell him, we're going to send the police, we're going to tell them, if you don't keep your yard clean, you'd go out there, and oh my God, he'd get on that, he'd take the lawnmower and just start mowing, he'd yell at us all the time about that. That's just, we'll never forget that, because I have him all the time, because Joey, even in the winter, he would mow the grass, and Justin would get mad. And then we used to have those long talks, and Shelley would get so mad at me, and I'd say, well, you know, Justin's right. Stop sticking that rain bag in. I just have to. I always had to take his side because he was always just, when we met him, he just became like part of our family. And he knows we loved him. And just said, I'm sorry. I just want to say something little.
Justin was best dad anyone could ask for. He did so much for me and my mom and my family. He did everything for everyone else. He never did anything for himself. He was going to stay for the cops for 2 years.
There's only 2 years.
He wanted to stay for 2 years, but I gave him 5. He's the one that got me into 49ers, and brothers had he was in the garage for I don't even know how many years. I went fishing with him. Taught me how to do everything I know how to do today. Well, just monster. And he would never share his notebooks. Those were always his. He'd always buy a pack and he'd be like, no, you're not having any of them. So I bring his thief everything besides me and my mom. And I know for the rest of my life he's going to watch over me and my mom. Take care of us at the truck. And I love him. I love everyone that he loves.
Excuse me. I didn't plan on doing this, but as I'm sitting there, I'm moved to say a couple of things. I knew Justin longer than most of your friends, and I'm his Uncle Buster. One of the things I noticed from the get-go about young Justin, watching him chase his older brothers and my 2 sons that were same age almost, and Jay and Kevin. Justin always wanted to be wanted. He always wanted to be loved. He always wanted to be accepted. And that was part of his spiritual makeup. And that was part of his physical downfall. Justin reminds me in sort of a way of like a Vincent van Gogh. Justin was an artist. Everybody seen his tattoos and they've talked about him. He had a very artistic nature about him. And there's a line from a very famous song that I remember about him. And just a quote from it was, "And when no hope was left on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never made for one as beautiful as you." Now the pink elephant in the room no one's talking about is the fact that he committed suicide. And where is he? Well, let me shed some light on that also. Because I had a dream the next day. And like you mentioned in his beginning, his opening remarks, and I saw Justin in my dream, arm in arm with my mom, getting a tour of heaven. So that's where Justin was at.